Hey everybody, this is Johnny Van Zandt from Leonard Skinner. You're listening to American Hearts Radio.
Welcome to Comics on Parole. My name is Dan Glazer, and we have a great show in store for you. Stacy has not been here the last few times, but she's here now. Unfortunately, I don't believe she's talking because she is a mime on this show. So she'll be using sign language, and she lost her white paint. So she is a mime without white paint. How you been, Stace? Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so we want to give a brief shout out for Jerry Farber. Oh, Stacy, you just did a puppet show. Did that turn out good? Did good? Okay. Anything else you would like to mime? Okay. Okay. We want to give a little shout out to Jerry Farber's Side Door and Jerry Farber's Open Mic, Open Mouth on Wednesday night. Stacy and I host. And then, so come every Wednesday, 9:30. We have food from 9:15 to 10:15. It's $5 for free chicken wings and sandwiches. Now, we also want to briefly do a real quick commercial. This is the owner of the network. When you see, you're going to be very impressed. Mike Aloya's Graviton Show promo.
What's up, man? How you doing, everybody? It's me, Professor Gravitron, man. And whoa, well, did you see that? Oh, wow, man. I'm here cruising space with my DeLorean, man. And oh, wow, you can see my flex capacitor behind me. We're cruising, man. And it's because it's all about the sci-fi, man. The sci-fi. Every Saturday night, man, on American Arts Radio, you can watch sci-fi, man. And we'll cruise together with really cool, wild stuff, man. It'll blow your mind. So tune in, man. It's Saturday night sci-fi with Professor Gravitron. Join me, man, and we'll cruise together. Whoa! See you there, dudes. And do that rock and roll. Ah!
Words cannot describe what we just saw. That's why we have Stacy the Mime on. And this is the owner of this network. So tune in for his sci-fi show, right? Are you going to? Okay. Okay. Now listen, we have a big show coming. Why don't you go grab our first guest, not our first desk. Coming to the Parole Desk is a musician, comic legend. In the 1970s, he formed the Ha Vishnu Orchestra during this period, Rolling Stone and MTV proclaimed him as one of the most savagely gifted writer-performers in the country today. The music of the Ha Vishnu Orchestra is often compared to the likes of Frank Zappa. He also appeared in the 1977 on James Brown's Future Shock New Year's Eve television show. He performed with the Sex Kittens and the Sex Pistons in 1978. In the early 80s.
Wow, man! You're like Graviton, man! Wow, dude!
He performed a Bill Tisch comedy show. He worked Dr. Demento. He was with Dr. Demento, and he was in the movie Crazy Heart with Jeff Bridges. Welcome to the Parole Desk, Daryl Rose.
Thank you. I just want to say I'm glad you have a mime here and you use it, because a mime is a terrible thing to waste.
Hey, Stacey, you should laugh at that. It was funny. Okay.
She was busy. She was busy. She was busy. Man, dude!
This is a big honor. I must say, really.
Thank you,
I'm really
I'm glad to be here.
What happened? I met Daryl about a year ago, and when I heard he was going to be on the show, I read his bio. Now I'm frightened of him because he has a very, very impressive celebrity-type bio.
Yeah, and look what it's gotten me. So, yeah, I'm glad to be here, man.
You used to have a show on this network.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah,
We should talk about that, though, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Briefly, I want Daryl to sing a song at the beginning. Is there something? Did you want to talk about your CDs first, or go into a little?
Well,
song?
I'll mention I'm going to do a song on my new CD. This is my new CD. It's called Daryl Rhodes Presents Songs for Teenagers in Heat. And yeah, if you don't mind, I'll play a little guitar.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay. Play a little guitar. This is a song.
Can Stacy mind to it? Or
sure.
In the back, mind in the back.
Sure. This is a song I actually have played here before, played on the TV show, and this is on my new CD, and the new CD has a bunch of great musicians on it, but this is kind of a home improvement song, so I'm going to do this for you, and I hope the kids like it out there, all right? When there's wood to drill and there's cracks to fill, the only thing real that can seal the deal is caulk. She's looking for caulk. When there's a problem, she knows where to go. Take a trip to Lowe's or Home Depot. Walking down the aisle looking for a man with a smile on his face, 'cause in his hand is caulk. He's holding caulk. You can put it in the window, you can stick it in the door, you can shoot it in the ceiling, you can slap it on the floor. Looks like cream but feels like paste if you gawk. When you caulk, you can get it on your face, yeah, caulk. Yeah, caulk. Let's rock! You can seal a joint or fill a gap. For your protection, it comes with a cap, 'cause it might leak and get on your hand, and nobody wants a messy caulk man. To get caulk hard, it might take time. Maybe your caulk, but not for mine. Women, they love to talk. Sometimes they just want caulk. They want caulk. They're looking for caulk. You can use a smaller, larger tube. Size doesn't matter if it fits the groove. Every girl I've met that really rocks know what to do when she's holding caulk. Yeah, caulk. Yeah, caulk, dude! Yeah, caulk, dude! Caulk! Yeah! Yeah! All right, that's one of the things that would double plywood.
Give it up for Daryl
Yeah.
Rhodes. Daryl Rhodes.
It's the reason why I'm where I am today.
Now, when did you decide to be a performer?
When did I? I've been a drummer since I was a little girl. I guess I had started about 15 or 16 and started playing drums, and put the band together and fronted the band, the Ha Vishnu, back in '75.
Yeah.
And did that for about 3 years or so, and then played with a lot of people, played drums behind a lot of people, and started doing stand-up in '88. So I guess since the time I was 15 or 16, been a performer.
So you started doing stand-up in '88.
'88.
So you were about 36.
38.
That's, yeah. And you've done well with the stand-up.
Oh yeah, I'm incredibly wealthy.
Hey, well, let me ask you: was it uncomfortable for you at first to be doing stand-up without your instruments or singing?
It took a little bit of adjustment. Well, I mean, I did some singing, but what I didn't have. I'm used to having a band behind me. You give cues, you go into it, and and you play off the energy. But when you're doing it without a band, then you have to figure out a way to do everything you've done beforehand with just one person.
Right.
And I use music in my act still. With a remote control mini disc player, and I use a harmonizer, and I do a lot of different things on stage.
Well, as I was researching his bio, what really got me, it made Daryl my hero. His songs were played on Dr. Demento. You're too young to remember Dr. You do know Dr. You don't know? Okay. Dr. Demento was this, he was also, his voice to me was like on the level of Casey Kasem.
He was Casey Kasem on acid.
Yeah.
Is what he was.
And as a teenager, he was just crazy and wacky, and he played your songs quite a bit.
He played them a lot, and he also, he had club CDs where, he made the records or recordings for everyone that was in his club, and he used a lot of my songs, and I gave him permission to do it. He didn't put them out on the public, but he shared them with a lot of his people. And because of that, I have a song called Papa Woody. It's a guy named Woodrow Johnson, so it's Papa Woody. And there was a musical on the West Coast called Sex the Musical. And they contacted me and hired me to, or they bought the rights to use the song in the musical. So that's because of Demento. And yeah, he's turned me on to a lot of stuff. I mean, I've had some of my stuff given away on NPR as prizes, because of Demento.
And you were did I mention you were going to tour with them? Did I just say that?
No, but they were putting together a tour. This is way before Weird Al, because Weird Al got his break on Demento.
Right.
And so his Demento's manager really didn't have it together at that time, And I think it might have made a big difference. Who knows? I mean, there's every path that you go down, it could have been different for one reason or another. So I'm never unhappy with where I end up because you were kind
of Weird Al Yankovic before Weird Al Yankovic with Weird Al Yankovic.
Well, I
in a different way.
I never did too much on parodies. I was always in there. I mean, I did a couple of parodies, but that was his thing, and he was very good at it.
Tell me some of the big names besides James Brown. We're going to show you a video of him singing on James Brown's show. Tell us some of the other big names you performed with.
Well, I mean, on my Weapons of Mass Deception, there's a picture of Iggy Pop being on stage, and that was from The Bitter End. Yeah. And I played drums behind Tom Waits and Jerry Lee Lewis and Chuck Berry and the Drifters and the Platters, and because I was a house drummer at a place called Scarlet Little Hares in underground Atlanta. Right. Remember that? Yeah. And so I played drums there, and so a lot of times the bands would come in and the house band would play behind them, or else in the case of the Drifters, their drummer got pulled over for DUI. He didn't make it that night, so next thing I know, I'm a drifter.
Well, let me ask you. Now, we're going to show your your music video on the James Brown show. Tell us a little about this show.
Well, that was a show called Future Shock, and unfortunately, I'm afraid that a lot of those shows have been thrown into the dumpster. TBS, and Bill Tush told me about this, TBS did not think about all this stuff, and they threw a lot of the original shows in the dumpster. So all this classic stuff, and I happen to have, after we did the show, they sent me the clip without James' intro. He did the intro after we did our bit. He would do the intro and the outro. He'd go in and go, "Now, ladies and gentlemen," he says, "Dow-row," and then at the end he'd go, "Dow-row, ha-ha, Vishnu," and so, I don't have that on the clip, unfortunately.
Oh, well, can you see the Daryl Rhodes on James Brown? It's two clips after you have the TV ad for Burger to Heaven and the Daryl Rhodes. Can you go down to the?
I got basically 3 Daryl Rhodes. Which one you want?
The third one.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's star time on Future Shock. Introducing a man who needs no introduction, nor does he deserve one. A man who brought you such hits as the $1 Million Seller, Surfing Shark, the $1,000 seller, Morgue, the $100 seller, Leprosy Queen. And soon he lost $365 on I Am In With the Zen Crowd. That's right, he's back, he's bad, he's black, he's glad, he's right here with us tonight. He's the hardest working man in Livonia, Georgia. Let's bring him out right now, Daryl W. Rhodes.
Good God, I feel funky tonight. Hi everybody, I be Daryl Rhodes, and this be the bad, 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 super bad, ha-ha, this new orchestra. Now we're from Atlanta, and in Big A, we can limp as good as we crawl. Good God almighty, y'all, I feel so funky. Let's bring on funky horn parts in. Massio, blow your horn. Good God, hot pants. Well, got a new dance. Some people have tried. The ones that can do it have already died. The name of the dance is suicide. Hit me, man. Wow! Who's out to What's that you got in your hand? Why, it's a body gun. Sure is bad. And with a different bullet. I think we better put it up to our head one bad time. Good God. Oh, I feel funky. I feel so funky. Let's shoot it one time. Oh, cheap gun. Let's shoot it 2 times. Let's shoot it 3 times. Let's shoot it 4 times. Get the drummer some. Wow! Hot pants. Good God. Oh, you're looking dead. You're out of suicide. Now roll off your window and close the garage. Get the key and crank off the Dodge. With Ford Revolvo, any car will do. And breathe the air till your lip turn blue. Good God! Wow, wow! Skin grab. Good God! Skin grab. Let's talk about suicide. 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 Got right on it, right on it. Suicide. Good God. Suicide. And a fucking hell.
How you doing, everybody?
No.
Yeah,
we're gonna get his character honor amendment, but briefly, you're good friends with Brett Butler.
Yeah, I know Brett. Yeah.
And she, last time I saw you, she called. How's she doing now?
Well, last time I talked to her, we talked for a while, and then about a week later, I saw something on TV about her losing her farm, and then
You're
next
in
thing I
Atlanta?
know, in Rome, Georgia.
Oh, gee.
And then I heard she was going out to L.A. and she got involved with the what was the show that Charlie Sheen had after
2.5 Men?
no, after 2.5 Men. He had one anger management.
Oh, yeah.
And she had something to do with that, and I haven't talked to her since, so I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah. Well, listen. Do I have anything? Yeah, I do have one other question to ask you, but I'd like. Yeah, I'm going to ask it now. How was it? You were in the movie Crazy Heart.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
Oh, it was great. I flew out to let's see, it was Albuquerque on a Wednesday. We had practice Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday we worked about 12 or 13 hours. I played drums behind Jeff Bridges, and so we rehearsed Wednesday. And Thursday and Friday we cut the stuff, and I hung around Saturday. Robert Duvall invited me to play drums. He did a cast party, so I hung around on Sunday, and they had the big cast party, and Jeff and a bunch of us. I got a bunch of pictures from that. It was a lot of fun. Jeff was a great guy, man, and it was funny because I had played behind all these people like Buck Owens, and so when I was telling Jeff, I said, this is really not much of a stretch for me. I've done this, play behind bars, because that's all I was doing. And when I play, I sort of dance on drums. And he accidentally knocked the mic stand over on me. And he stopped and said, I'm sorry. I said, no, that would actually happen. And we spent the next 10 scenes, or next 10 attempts to do the scene with him trying to knock the mic stand off me to do it right. But I mean, he was just a great guy. We joked, and I mean, like I had known him for years.
He looked like a nice guy.
He's a real nice guy.
And I was impressed when I became a fan was that he did that love scene with King Kong. No, I'm just kidding. He was in King Kong, remember? Okay.
That's part of the damn joking you doing
That's
right
right.
there. You doing some damn joke. You one of them comedians. Yeah, you doing it. I heard you do it.
Daryl's going to sing another song.
I'm going to do a spoken word, okay?
Okay.
This is a spoken word right here. I'll tell you that right now. I'll do damn spoken word. Now, this was originally written as a jazz song, and it's on my Roads All Over the Map CD. And so I'm going to do a spoken word, and this will be my drums. Ready? If bigger is better than real lies, for a little extra you can supersize. A larger slice, a larger glass, gets bigger pants for a bigger ass. Happy hour, 2 for 1, get more meat on a bigger bun. And a bigger mug gets a bigger beer, and a bigger frown for a bigger mirror. A bigger mall where you'll get more and get it for less in a superstore. Enhance your pleasure with larger breasts, track bigger jerks with a tighter dress. And a little blue pill gets a bigger time, you'll get yours and then one mine. So come on in, stand in line down the highway. There's a bigger sign that says land of the free, home of the buffet. Come in, sit down, fill up today. Feed a family of 5 for the price of 4, and if you run out, we'll make more. Get a free steak when you beat the clock for a bigger hole in a bigger box, in a bigger spoon, in a bigger jar, gets a bigger seat for a bigger car. A growing hunger for a larger dream gets a growing need for a bigger screen. Increase your credit when you charge. Hidden cost of living large, cause a bigger government makes more laws like a bigger shark, and we got jaws. For right now, without further pause, I want to hear a big round of applause. I want bigger applause. I want bigger applause. That's it. That's it. I didn't hear any applause from the mime. From the mime, I didn't hear any applause.
Okay, now we're all in for a big treat, including you, mime. And you stay up here. Okay, now we're going to have Daryl sing another song in a moment, but we've got to show this. From the owner, from the producer. We've got to show, oh God. It's my interview with the Redneck Muslim. Take it away.
Hello, Mr. Dan. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
I am so happy to be here. I am
How do you pronounce your name exactly?
My name is Enos Mohammed Baba. Yes, they call me the Redneck Muslim.
Okay, I'll just call you the Redneck Muslim for short.
Well, Mr. Dan, I am so happy to see you. I am sorry that I was detained on coming up there to be there live with you and Daryl Rhodes.
What happened? Didn't you have a flight up here?
Well, yes, and I was running late for my flight, and I was running through the airport, and the TSA tackled me, and then they started to beat me. I started to scream, please don't beat me, you're making me homesick.
Well, how many wives do you have, by the way?
Well, I had lost count, Mr. Dan.
Well, one of them probably will beat you for you.
Well, yes, and sometimes I enjoy that. It brings back fond memories.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you know, something I was going to tell you is I ended up with a flight. They told me, they say, you're going on a flight to nowhere, you Mr. Redneck Muslim. I said, well, I hope you're not telling me I'm going to Malaysia.
Oh, geez.
Enos,
Now,
I need you to hold your
tell
hands up
tell
like
us-
this. I want to show you something.
Hello, Mr. Bruce.
How you doing? Enos, hold your hands up like this.
Okay.
Okay, see the one missing finger? Okay,
Yes.
he had 10 wives, but he got divorced once.
Yes. That is from my divorce.
So every time you get divorced, you lose a finger?
I lose one limb. Yes.
Oh, my gosh. But I got 9 others, so I guess that's okay.
Well, that is okay. You know, unless they die of natural causes.
Now, tell us about your show Motown on American Hearts Radio.
Oh, yes, we love to spin the magic of Motown, baby. That's every Saturday, yes, at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's a web TV show. And what I do, American Hearts Radio, they hire me to spin the Motown sound and to play those old vintage videos of Motown. And it is very, very fun. And I love it because, you know, it makes people very happy.
Oh, okay. And now what inspired you to come to America?
Well, you know, America is the land of opportunity. And when
So what do you think?
Oh, that was genius right there. I'm gonna tell you, that's genius stuff right there. That line he did where it was funny and stuff, that was good.
That was good. Well, I'm supposed to show the Wombo Combo Midget Camel Race. We'll show 30 seconds of it.
Yeah, how long is this show?
30 minutes.
Okay, as predicted, the Beast is making a slow, unsteady start out of the gate. And Daniel Artran has gotten T-Man up to the lead that they wanted. The question now is, will the Beast turn it on? Okay, the first handoff is clean, and the Beast is still on. No, wait, there he goes. The Beast is now starting to go. The Camel is moving. The question is, will he be too far back to catch up? T-Man is running there at a good, clean pace. The energy now. Now the Camel is really taking it into high gear and closing the gap. And there is the next baton pass. It is clean, but the Camel is clearly catching up. He is now, in fact, passing Mike Berger and is in front of him by at least 4 or 5 yards. He started slowly, but now he is moving quickly. And the next
on right there. I used to date a little woman, and she went up on me. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm kind of a ladies' man. I don't know if you know that. I used to date a beautiful black woman, but she split up with me at the end of August because she said she couldn't go out with white guys after Labor Day. I also used to go out with an Asian woman, but hell, 2 hours after I dropped her off, I'd want to go out with her again. All right.
By the way, that was Irma, the Redneck Muslim's pet camel.
All right.
And I want to show 30 seconds of the Redneck Muslim.
You really like to just...
I'm told to do this. The Major of Motown. Oh, it's 1 minute. Show 10 seconds. You don't have it? Forget it. We're not going to do it.
Oh, no, he's got it.
Okay,
Come on,
it's the Redneck Muslim.
I want to see it.
Megan of Motown promo.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mistyped something. Do you see it?
It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's after the Wombo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
After the Wombo.
Oh, hello, everybody. It is time for the magic of Motown. No, Irma, no. Don't go back. You cannot ride with me. You cannot beat. Stop spitting, would you? How are you this morning? You look very beautiful. Yes. You remind me of one of my wives.
I give you to you again, Daryl Rhodes.
I don't know if I can follow that. As you know, I'm a drummer, not a guitarist, so let's see what happens here. This is the first song I ever wrote, and it's actually on my Burgers from Heaven CD, and I put it out as a bonus track. Let's see how this works out. My leprosy queen, wow. My leprosy queen, wow. When I hold her tight, she falls apart at the seams. My leprosy queen, do-do-do-do. My baby tried to play guitar, but she didn't get very far. She couldn't play me a thing, her fingers dropped in the strings. My leprosy queen. Now when we're walking through the park, I know she can do me no harm. I take my leprosy queen by the hand, but it comes off at her arm. Do-do-do-do. Leprosy queen, wow. Leprosy queen, wow. When I hold her tight, she falls apart at the seams. My leprosy queen. No, this is a sad part. Now she's with the angels above. She crumbled when I gave her a shove. She's broken my heart, and I've fallen apart. Just like my leprosy love. Leprosy queen, wow. Leprosy queen, wow. Leprosy queen, dude! When she falls apart at the seam. My leprosy queen.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for tuning in to Comics on Parole with the famous Daryl Rhodes.
Thank you, sir.
And listen, anytime you have a new song, come on here and sing it. Will you do that?
Sure, if I can. And I wanted you to have a copy of Teenagers in Heat.
Oh, thank you.
And this is also Rapparations.
Oh, thank you very much. Teenagers in Heat, I like it. Okay, well, thank you for tuning in to Comics on Parole. Tune in 2 weeks when we don't know who we'll have on. Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is Johnny Van Zandt from Leonard Skinner. You're listening to American Hearts Radio.